My beloved child, do you hear within the hush of time how I am gently setting in order again the things that seem to have fallen into forgetfulness? I tell you, no season of waiting is meaningless. For it is in these quiet spaces that grace is sown, and peace is being woven by the hands of the Creator. As it is written, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8:2-8. So do not be unsettled when you do not yet see anything moving, because it may be in the silence that I am building a turning point of peace for you. I know you have grown weary from praying and praying without seeing an answer, when every door seems shut. But, my child, the season of waiting is not abandonment. It is the time when I am tending the roots of your faith in the deep soil. The things that seem scattered, this person, that opportunity, this trial are all being arranged by me so they fit together. You are not left behind. You are being prepared. And when the time comes, you will understand every tear, every patience has been a stone laid to form a steady path leading to blessing. I do not act in noise. I work in quiet, like a seed sprouting beneath the soil when no one can yet see it. Sometimes you think, nothing is happening, yet it is precisely then that I am untying knots you did not even know were there, opening a way where you have never seen. Be still. My child, for faith is not measured by what the eyes can see, but by trust when nothing is seen at all. When I am silent, it is not that I am absent. It is that I am building something great enough that, at the appointed time, you will say, truly, you were there all along. Do not wait for miracles in thunder and splendor. My blessing sometimes comes on an ordinary morning, through a word as light as the wind, a chance encounter, or a simple message that opens an entirely new door. Stay watchful, for I can use anyone, anything, to draw you nearer to my good purpose. When you learn to see with the eyes of faith, every moment can become a sign of grace. My child, I know your heart has sagged in long nights of prayer when no reply came. You looked around and thought I had fallen silent. But, my child, my silence is not absence. It is the beginning of something deep. While you grow tired in waiting, I am placing each seed of grace in the ground you cannot see. A season of waiting is never meaningless, because it is when your soul is refined to discern my voice amid the world's many noises. Remember, you are not forgotten. I am preparing what exceeds what you have asked. Like a grain of barley, before it bears a head, it must lie still in the earth so its roots can grip deep. So waiting is the first part of fruitfulness. There are days you see others moving far ahead while you remain standing still. But listen to this. My child, I do not measure your time by human clocks. Everything I do has its season, and no season arrives early or late outside the moment I have appointed. When I led the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years, it was not because I forgot my promise, but because I wanted them to learn to trust me more than tomorrow's bread. Waiting teaches you what victory cannot: humility, gratitude, and unconditional faith. When you sit in stillness and yet keep trusting, it is then that I am building within you a steadfast spirit, no longer swayed by the winds of life. Do you remember Joseph, the young man I chose to preserve life for many, before he sat upon a throne? Joseph passed through years in a prison cell where there was no light, where the world forgot him. Yet in that darkness, I was still with him, teaching him patience, teaching him to listen, teaching him to remain upright amid injustice. My child, the days you feel abandoned may be the very days I am training your soul to receive glory at the right time. Joseph was not prepared in a palace. but in a prison. So it is with you, a great blessing comes only when you have grown mature enough not to be swept away by it. My child, do not fear when you do not understand my path. Everything that seems disconnected today encounters losses. Even turns that feel senseless will one day blend into a song of divine arrangement. You are only in the middle of the harmony and cannot yet hear the final melody. I am the conductor, I strike no note in error. When you look back, you will see what you thought was being lost was the very road leading to light. Therefore, the season of waiting is not delay, but a stage in which you are being shaped to fit the blessing that is coming. I know there are moments you sigh and ask, why has the good not yet come to me? But, my child, I do not measure blessing by speed, but by depth. A great tree does not grow overnight, and the deep sea is not formed in a day. I am using time to refine you, so that when grace arrives, you are strong enough to keep it, not lose it in haste. When you learn to be grateful, even while waiting, it is then that you touch a peace higher than all understanding. Sometimes you think I have closed every door, but, my child, I do not close them to drive you into despair. I close them to keep you from a path not yet ready. It is like when I told Moses to be patient before the Red Sea. For the moment I would say, lift up your staff, had not yet come. If Moses had rushed, the sea would not have parted. My child, do not pound on doors I have not opened, for I know exactly when the waters will dry, when hearts will be ready, and when the blessing can come without causing you to stumble. Waiting is the shield that protects you from impatience that ruins my wonders. Remember this in every waiting. I am still at work. Each morning, when the sun rises, I quietly let life flow through every branch, every vein of the earth. So it is within you I am sowing something new. You do not see it, but the seed is sprouting. Only do not abandon faith, and the harvest will come. And when you step out of the season of waiting, you will no longer be who you were. Your soul will be brighter, steadier, and able to recognize my voice among all other voices. My child, let this time become the place where you learn again how to trust, how to love, and how to listen. Do not fear slowness, for I am within it. Do not fear silence, for I speak through that stillness. When you sit in the night and still say, I trust you, that is when you touch the true soul of faith. I do not hurry, because I want what comes to you to remain. The season of waiting is where you and I walk through the darkness together, so that when dawn arrives, you will not only see the light out there, but also recognize the light that has risen within your own heart. Therefore, my child, be thankful even in the hush. When you see nothing, it is not the moment of my absence, but the moment I am preparing a wonder beyond what you can imagine. Waiting is the test of trust, and also the journey I use to make you become truly yourself, steadfast, humble, and ready for the blessing that is near. My beloved child, there are times I choose to hide myself within a life that seems quiet. You look around and see no wind stirring, no waters moving, and think everything is standing still. But in the deep layers of silence, I am still working. Like a seed lying in the earth, no one sees the root has pierced. The stem has risen, yet life is still unfolding, stronger than you imagine. Do not assume I am not speaking simply because you do not hear my voice. I speak through the smallest moments, your breath, the light of each morning, the patience in you that you yourself do not recognize. When you keep your heart at peace, you will see that I am still moving, in the way only the Spirit can move. Do you remember when Elijah sought me on Mount Horeb? Before him came a mighty wind, an earthquake, and a consuming fire, yet I was not in those things. Then he heard a gentle whisper, and he knew I was present. My child, I am the same today. I do not always come in loud signs, but in the quiet whisper of peace. When you learn to listen to the smallest thing, you will recognize I am restoring the greatest thing. On days you think nothing is changing, in truth, I am laying the foundation anew, not on the outside, but within your spirit, where you are being prepared to receive what is great, what you are not yet ready to touch. Sometimes I work like a potter, patiently turning the clay. You only see the turning again and again, but I know that the repetition is shaping you. I turn you through trials. I lead you back into stillness, to remove what is coarse and keep what is pure. You will not understand immediately, but one day, when the form is complete, you will realize my hand never left you. Everything I do is aimed at making you strong yet tender, steadfast yet humble. Do not fear the days that seem to hold no progress, for it is then that I am touching the deepest place in your soul. There are times I conceal my intentions, like a father hiding a gift before a child's birthday. You wait and do not see it, and you think I have forgotten. But, my child, a true gift must be prepared with care, so that when you open it, it does not wound you. I am not delaying. I am waiting until your heart is peaceful enough to receive it without losing it. As when I had David live in hiding for years before he took the throne, it was not that I forgot my promise, but that I wanted to train the heart of a king to love his people, to endure in restraint, to weep with the afflicted. So it is with you. My slowness is the love I use to protect you from haste. My child, in every moment that seems still, I am untangling the threads of circumstance. You cannot see it, but I am shifting people, events, and timing. Everything must arrive at the right hour, because if even one thing comes at the wrong moment, the whole picture is thrown off. I arrange with light, with shadow, even with what you think is coincidence. If you are patient enough not to rush into my work, you will witness a wonder. Every broken piece is set in its rightful place. And when the picture is complete, you will not be able to hold back your tears. When you encounter silence, it is not a sign of an ending, but a season in which I change the way I speak. I do not always speak with words. I speak through experience, through the people you meet, through the endurance you are learning to carry. Let your heart open like a field, ready to receive rain. When you do not resist, the seed of grace will soak in deep, and one morning, you will suddenly realize the thing you once asked for has quietly taken shape within you. That is when I smile, because you have learned something more precious than outcomes. You have learned how to trust in silence. I know waiting can frighten you. You fear I have forgotten. Fear you are not good enough. Fear your efforts are pointless. But, my child, nothing is pointless in my hands. Every breath, every tear, every moment of patience I use to weave your story. Look again at Abraham. He had to wait until every ordinary hope was extinguished before seeing the promise fulfilled. For I wanted him to know true faith does not rest on human ability, but on the love of the one who does not change. So it is with you when you stop searching with your eyes. You will begin to see with trust. Do not be afraid when you hear nothing from me. My child, I am still there, writing the quiet chapters of your life where light has not yet reached. Every still interval, every delay, is part of a sacred rhythm. When the time comes, I will cause all things to bloom naturally, without you forcing, without you worrying, just as dawn arrives without anyone urging it on. So my grace arrives at its appointed hour, and when that light touches you, you will understand why I chose silence, so your heart could mature in faith. And so you would know that even when you do not see me, I am always at work in every beat of your life. My child, grace does not always come with rolling thunder or a great wind. Often, I choose to walk through the ordinary light as breath hidden within small things. Blessing is not always announced with dazzling light. Sometimes it only knocks softly at your heart through a person you happen to meet. A sentence that leaves you quiet, or a situation that turns your gaze back upon yourself. I still use what seems accidental to speak love, to open a way, to show you that my hand is not only at work in miracles, but also in the simplest movements of everyday life. Once I caused Elisha to meet the woman of Shunem, nothing more than a simple visit. And yet that small welcome opened the way for a miracle. The barren woman was able to cradle a son. Do you see, my child, how goodness often arrives when you are not calculating? When you do what is right simply out of compassion, treasure the unexpected meetings, for I can use them to open a new season in your life. My providence does not come with trumpets and announcements. It hides in moments that make you smile without knowing why. At times, I will send you a word that seems like a passing comfort, yet it sows in you a seed of hope. Or I will have you meet someone only once, and that meeting will be enough to turn the direction of your path. Do not think every coincidence is accidental. There is no accident in my plan. I weave quiet connections, so that when you look back, you will know that every step, every glance, every breath has been guided by my hand. You do not need to chase miracles. Simply keep your heart open and your eyes fixed by faith, and you will see that miracles still happen every day. When you live with a grateful spirit, you will see me speaking through even the smallest things. A smile, a word of encouragement, a door opening at just the right moment. What seems insignificant is a sign of grace. I know you often wait for great turning points, but I want to teach you that true blessing comes through what is ordinary. Just as rain needs no thunder to make the earth bloom, my grace needs no noise to renew your soul. Learn to receive small things with a large heart, for in that very moment, you are drawing nearer to me than ever before. Sometimes I will cause you to pause beside someone who is hurting, or to hear a story that stirs your heart. Do not rush past, for this may be the door I open for you to practice mercy. When you extend your hand to help someone, you are walking with me and bringing light to the world. My child, blessing is not only something you receive, it is also something you are allowed to become for others. I give you opportunity not so you may grow proud, but so you may become a cool stream for the thirsty. When you live for love, that very love will return to uphold you on the days you are weary. At times you ask, how will I know the signs that God is at work, my child? My signs are not outside of you, but within your heart. When you feel peace, though nothing has changed yet, that is a sign I am near. When fear loosens its grip, when you can forgive the one who wounded you, that is the miracle I am working in you. I do not always change circumstances first. I often change the heart first, so that when goodness arrives, you recognize it with humility, not with pride. That is true blessing, the blessing of one who has been prepared in love. Do not reject what is simple, for it is the fertile ground of grace. I do not need to raise a storm to prove my power. I need only breathe a gentle wind to shift the course of the sea. A small conversation, a compassionate look, an uncalculated act of kindness. These are the winds I blow through your life. Let your heart be still enough to notice, soft enough to be moved, faithful enough to follow. When you live with an open spirit, you will see me present in everything your hands touch. And then one day, when you look back, you will realize that nothing good came by chance. Everything was arranged to meet you at the right time, in the right place, in the right way. As light slips through a window frame, my grace enters your life through openings you never expected. I do not need to announce it beforehand, for what comes from me always carries the mark of peace. My child, keep your heart pure, for only a pure heart can recognize that I have always been there, whispering through the smallest things, leading you toward the greater thing I ordained from the beginning. My child, there are times when a closed door makes you think I am punishing you. You weep over loss, over what you longed for, dissolving in a moment. But my child, I do not close doors to wound you. I close them to shelter your soul from a path for which you are not yet ready. Like a father who knows the road ahead is lined with sharp stones, I gently hold you back. Even when you think I am hindering you, do not see the shut door as a period. See it as my hand, quietly guiding you toward what is safer. Everything that is taken away carries meaning, and I remove only what could cause you to lose yourself. Do you remember the story of Jonah when he tried to flee from my call? I allowed the storm to rise and had him swallowed by a great fish, not because I was furious, but because I wanted to rescue him from drifting away from his true mission. It was in that dark, cramped place that Jonah learned to look back, to realize that my heart was still waiting. In the same way, there are times I close doors that seem good, so you will not wander far from my purpose. My child, trials are not punishment. They are reminders wrapped in deep love, so that when you return, you walk by faith and not by fear. Sometimes I remove from you relationships, work, or dreams you once believed were everything. You cry and ask, why? But my child, I do not steal from you. I redirect you. Some things that are good are not necessarily what is right. If you cling to them, you will have no room to receive what I am truly preparing. Just as a farmer must prune dead branches for a tree to bear new fruit, I also cut away what weighs your soul down. Do not be afraid of the pain, for pruning is always part of life. I am not letting you lose. I am letting you grow. Many times you have prayed for me to reopen old doors, and I have remained silent. You think I do not hear, but in truth I am protecting you. If I let you return to places that once drained you, you would lose the very light within. I want you to understand that some endings are redemption. When I close, I always intend to open another door, not so you may run away, but so you may mature. Trust that behind every shut door is a region of peace you cannot yet see. Patience is the key I place in your hand. You need only hold it with faith. My child, I do not rejoice in your tears, yet I know those tears wash away the dust of the world clinging to your heart. When you hurt, I am very near. I do not always intervene to remove suffering, because some sorrows carry within them the seed of understanding. Through each loss, you learn to love more deeply, to forgive, to let go. You begin to see that I am not only the one who gives, but also the one who teaches you to release, so you may receive what is more precious. I do not come to shatter you, but to let you see yourself remade in my light. Sometimes I cause you to stop in the middle of the journey when you are eager to press forward. You wonder why a smooth road suddenly becomes rough. But my child, at times I raise walls so you can look again at where you are headed. If I did not restrain you, you would go so far you could no longer hear my call. See each wall as a mirror where you can behold your own soul. I do not want you only to go fast. I want you to go right. For going right, even slowly, still leads to the land of blessing I have promised. My child, learn to view every loss through the eyes of faith. What I take away today may be what you will thank me for tomorrow. When you have passed through the pain and look back, you will recognize that each wound carried the shape of my love, like a lost child called home by a father. I do not accuse, I only open my arms. Every trial is a quiet lesson in trust. When you understand that I do not desire to harm you, your heart will become light as wind. For in my hands, even what is broken can be turned into good. And when you step out of that season of loss, you will find yourself changed. Your heart will be deeper, your gaze gentler, your faith steadier. You will stop accusing, stop asking why, and instead speak thanksgiving. Thank you, Lord, for holding me back when I was not ready. My child, I have not closed your path, I have only led you along a safer road. Trust that every door I close hides within it a promise, and that promise I will fulfill in my time. For I am the one who never fails to keep an appointment. My child, when a new season draws near, the first thing I want you to guard is the posture of your soul, not the posture of your body, but the posture of gratitude, kindness, a forgiving spirit, and courage. For that very attitude is the key that opens the door of blessing I have prepared. If you keep your heart pure, everything I send, even what is small, will become great. But if you let bitterness cloud your eyes, even blessing will be misunderstood. A new season does not begin with changed circumstances, but with a change within you. When your heart has been set back into its rightful place, peace will come without needing an invitation. Remember, my child, gratitude is a seed that blooms even in the driest ground. When you give thanks for small things, you are acknowledging that I am still present in your life. That awareness is what multiplies blessing. Like the 10 lepers who were healed, only one returned to give thanks. And it was that one who was granted fullness of grace. Gratitude softens your heart so faith can take root more deeply. When you learn to give thanks in the midst of adversity, I will turn that very adversity into soil for miracles and kindness. My child, is the fragrance of the soul. Do not wait for life to change before you become compassionate. Be compassionate so life may be changed. I see every small act you do, a comforting word, a sharing glance, the patience you offer to the hard to love. None of it is ever lost, for I keep it written upon my heart. Each time you respond with love, you are joining me in making the light grow in the world. My child, kindness is not weakness, it is strength that comes from my spirit. Strength that knows how to bend low in order to lift others up. And if you learn to forgive, you will taste true freedom. Not everyone who wounds you has the power to keep you in chains unless you hold tightly to hatred. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is placing justice into my hands. As Jesus said while he was crucified, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. When you speak forgiveness, you are not only releasing another, you are also setting yourself free. Then peace will flow through you like cool water, washing away bitterness and making you light as the wind. My child, add courage to your heart, for faith is not only waiting, It is daring to walk when you cannot yet see the road. I do not promise that every path will be easy, but I do promise that my hand will not leave you. Be bold to do what is right. Even if you must stand alone, trust when others doubt. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward in spite of fear. When you dare to believe, dare to live by the light, I will turn your footsteps into a living testimony of my power. My child, in all things keep humility, for when you humble yourself, my grace will lift you up. Do not seek glory, seek truth. Do not crave to see results, crave to remain within my will. When you live with gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, and courage, you are walking in the light. Each of your days becomes a wordless prayer, a song that honors the Creator. When the new season opens, you will no longer have to ask, "When will good things come?" For by then, you yourself will have become that good thing. You will carry peace into places of unrest, love into places of hatred, and hope into places of despair. My child, this is the great grace I bestow, not only so you may be blessed, but so you may become a blessing to many. Guard this posture of heart, and you will see that each day, each breath, is proof that I am walking with you through every season in everlasting love. My child, heaven never misplaces anything that bears your name in the book of life. Everything appointed for you will return at the right time, in the right form, according to the intent of the Creator. When you think you have lost something, in truth I am only keeping it in a safer place beyond the reach of your hands, yet still joined to your soul through faith. What is coming toward you is not as small as you once believed. It carries the shape of a beginning, of healing, of courage revived after weary months. It will touch the deepest place in your soul, the place where you once prayed in silence, not knowing that your prayer was still rising through the heavens. For the blessing I send is not a gift that fades quickly, but restoration grace great enough to mend the fractures that once ran through your heart. My child, prepare to receive it. For I do not only give you what you want, I give you what you truly need. A day will come when, in the most ordinary moments, you recognize my imprint. It may be in a stranger's glance, or a careless word that stills your heart as though you heard a call from far away. That is when the miracle touches you not with noise, but with peace. Everything that comes from me carries the steady pulse of safety, no pressure, no forcing, no confusion, only a gentle certainty that whispers, "This is for you." You will not need to strain to hold it, because it will fit into your life as naturally as a stone returning to its place in a river's flow. And when it happens, you will know that I have always been working in darkness, in silence, in every breath you once believed was meaningless. The enemy has tried to make you believe that I have forgotten you. He has whispered into your heart that your prayers only hit the ceiling and fall back down, that your efforts are nothing but emptiness. But my child, no prayer is wasted. Every word you speak, I hear. Every tear you shed, I count. Every sigh you release, I know. When you think you are alone, that is the very moment I am laying the foundation for a new turning point. The enemy sees only the pause, but I am moving mountains behind your back. When you feel isolated, that is when my angels are holding their posts, fighting for you, shielding you from battles your natural eyes cannot see. Do you know that each time you whisper, "I'm tired," Lord, heaven steers, adjusts, and rearranges so that something better can be sent, arriving precisely when you thought you had nothing left to hope for. Sometimes, The miracles I send do not come in the form of perfection. They come as a crack that lets the light in. You see things falling apart and assume everything is ending. But in truth, that is when the soil softens for the seed to sprout. You do not realize it yet. What you call loss is making room for what is new. For I am the one who turns ashes into glory, mourning into a feast, and the long night into dawn. You only need to hold on to faith, because what I do often begins in silence and is completed in wonder. My child, I know you have prayed and seen no answer. You have asked, "Where are you?" And I was right there in the moment you knelt. In your broken breath, in your tear-filled gaze lifted toward heaven, I did not answer with a voice, because there are seasons when my silence is my instruction. You want to hear me speak, but I want you to learn to recognize me in what is unspoken. Just as the wind has no form, yet you still feel it. So it is with me present, not through what your eyes can see, but through a peace with no earthly reason. When your soul grows still, you will realize I was not absent. You were simply too afraid to hear. None of your petitions have been forgotten. They are kept in my treasury, waiting for the right moment to be opened. Every offering you have lifted, every tear, every desire is being refined by me, like gold through fire. And when the time comes, they will shine no longer shaped by fear, but by the light of faith. I do not work on the schedule you set, because I see the whole horizon while you see only a small corner. If I placed what you want into your hands too soon, it would crush you. But when I give it at the appointed time, you will be mature enough to carry it, wise enough to give thanks, and steady enough to share it with others. My child, I have never forgotten my promise. There will be days when you walk through loneliness, but do not confuse loneliness with abandonment. I allow you to cross the desert not so you will wither, but so you will thirst for what is holy, for it is only in longing that you find the true water, in solitude. I awaken in your soul a hunger for heaven's call, and when you pray from that deepest place, I will send a sign light as a breeze, yet strong enough to assure you I am near. You do not need to see my form, you only need to sense peace. For peace is my language. My angels are still standing watch around you when you sleep. When you are tired, when you think you have no strength left, they are invisible flames, gatekeepers in the night, keeping darkness from drawing near. You do not see them, but every time you release a fragile prayer, they move. They protect you from harm that never happens. They battle in a realm you have never stepped into. They rejoice when you sing. They grieve when you hurt. They celebrate when you still choose faith, when there seems to be nothing left to believe. My child, heaven is not still, it is moving on your behalf. And when you are close to giving up, I write the story onward. Before you collapse into despair, I have already set a new chapter before you. You only need to open your heart so the page can appear. It will not come with trumpets or blinding light, but in a very ordinary morning when you open your eyes and find your heart quiet, the weight lighter, the fear no longer clinging. That is the moment grace has finished its work. I do not need a storm to rescue you. Sometimes I only need to whisper, "Be still," and every wave within you will settle. My child, never measure the worth of the present by your fear. You are not forgotten, you are hidden. Just as a seed must be buried in dark soil to rise, I am hiding you from what could destroy your tender faith. When I allow you to wait, it is not because you are unworthy, but because the blessing approaching is too great and requires a soul strong enough to carry it. Let this time become a sanctuary where you learn to trust, to be quiet, to smile even when you cannot yet see what lies ahead. Then a day will come when you look back and understand that every pain, every delay, every long night had a reason. You will see how everything fit together, as if an unseen hand arranged it all. You will say, "Lord, you were here all along." And then you will no longer fear waiting, no longer doubt, because you will know that heaven was never silent. You were simply not yet still enough to hear. And what you are waiting for, great or small, is never late. For I am the one who does not come early, does not come late, but always comes on time. My child, be at peace. What you thought was lost is being returned, yet in a better form, more enduring, more purified. What you called an ending is only a beginning in my hands. Let faith guide you through the shadowed place, because on the other side there is always light, light not from the world, but from me, the one who has engraved your name upon the palms of my hands. And when that light covers you, you will know heaven has never been far, and grace has never been silent. Everything is still moving. So, what belongs to you? Right person, right time, right blessing will find you, whole and complete. As I promised from the very beginning, my child, this hour is no longer a vague waiting, but the soul's turning into an entirely new season. I tell you, stand firm in the light, for a door is opening before you. Do not let your mind be swept up in the world's noise. Do not let fear steal this sacred moment. This is not only a time of change, but a time of unveiling when what I prepared in silence will gradually become clear. Every beat of time has been appointed, and every person you meet is a piece of the divine arrangement. When you keep your heart still, you will recognize that everything around you is shifting according to heaven's breath. You will no longer need to chase anything, because what is appointed for you is coming toward you slowly, yet surely, like dawn spreading across the earth. My child, Archangel Michael is not only standing guard beside you, he is cutting away every invisible cord that binds your soul to old fear. When you feel lighter, when peace comes upon you for no reason, that is when his radiant sword has touched your spirit, freeing you from what has blocked your entrance into a new blessing. You do not have to strive, for the battle belongs to me. Your task is to believe, to keep your heart pure, and to listen for the small signs I send. A passing sentence, a sudden thought, a soft wind across your face. Any of these can be heaven's message. Look with faith and not only with your eyes, for what you see has never been the whole of it. Some blessings must be held back until your heart is mature enough to receive them without losing them. I do not delay to punish. I wait for my appointed hour. While you are still blaming the slowness, I have already seen that you are being prepared. You once thought I was silent, but you did not know that in that silence, I was fitting together what seemed scattered: your prayers, your patience, and even your hidden tears. Now all of it is meeting at a single point, the point of triumph. My child, the moment you thought was late is the most precise moment, because grace is never late. What has been kept is not meant to make you wait in vain, but so that when you receive it, you will know it came from me and not from your own strength. Prepare your soul like the lamp bearer waiting for the master to return. Keep the flame of faith small but steady. There are nights when the lamp seems about to die, but a drop of gratitude is enough for the flame to rise again. I do not demand that you be strong at all times. I only ask that you do not extinguish faith. When you are weak, call on me. When you doubt, Be quiet and listen. Heaven is not as far as you think. It lives in those who dare to believe in the night. My child, the light does not need to be large, only true, and what is true will still shine, even in the storm. This is the hour your soul must hold the posture of a soldier of light. Keep your heart clean, your thoughts clear, and your hands ready to receive. For grace does not pour into a place filled with fear and resentment. When you release what is behind you, you will see what I promised drawing near. Remember, a blessing does not only arrive in the form of joy, sometimes it comes dressed as a test, to see whether you are mature enough to keep peace. If you are tired, rest your head against me, for I am your resting place. You do not need to know everything in advance. Simply take each step in obedience, and the blessing will find you. The signs I send will not be loud. They may be a friend appearing at the right moment, an old door quietly opening, or a seeming coincidence that changes everything. My child, heaven is arranging the smallest details around you. Not a single step you take is wasted. The days you prayed through tears, I heard. The times you forgave while still hurting, I witnessed. The moments you chose love over bitterness, I smiled. Now all of these are being connected like a chain of light, leading you to where the blessing is already waiting. Do not be afraid if you still cannot see anything clearly. Some miracles do not appear before your eyes. They are only recognized after you have walked through them, like a traveler moving through the night. Only when dawn rises does he see the path behind him, filled with luminous footprints. My child, I want you to know that no step is ever lost while you are holding my hand. Time is not your enemy, it is grace's companion. When I say now, it is not coincidence, but the point where divine purpose touches the earth. Do not fear slowness, for sometimes slowness is how I keep you from colliding with what you are not yet ready to face. I know your heart has been impatient, has wondered, why hasn't God done it yet? But my child, I am working only in my way, not in the way you imagined. When I remain silent, I have not forgotten. I am building something large enough that nothing can destroy it. If I answered your prayer before you were steady, it would cost you more than it would give you. But now, after all the wind and weather you have endured, with a softer heart and a quieter spirit, this is when the blessing can come without being lost. What was distant is drawing near. What was unfinished is being completed. My child, open your heart, for what is good is already close beside you. I see your soul lighting up like a candle, newly kindled. Everything that once made you afraid is gradually dissolving. Because true light does not need to fight the darkness, it only needs to be. When you hold on to faith, you do not need to prove anything else. Faith itself is already a miracle. Let your heart be still. For when you are still, you can hear my voice more clearly. I am leading you through a door that was appointed from the beginning, where blessing and calling meet. This is not only a season to receive, but a season for you to become a light for others. My child, light is not only to illumine yourself, but to guide those who have lost their way. When you live in my grace, you become a living testimony of love that does not fade. And now, I speak to you, be afraid no longer. Rise up and step into the realm of light I have prepared. Do not look back at the past, for it is completed. Let sorrowful memories rest within my mercy, and set your eyes forward toward the joy that is coming. You will no longer have to feel your way through the mist, for my light will go before you. Everything that once delayed you, everything that once wearied you, is now shifting. The time has come, and the door of grace has opened. Walk on, my child, not in fear, but in faith. For I, the one who formed you, am with you through every breath, through every season, through every stretch of the road. And when you lift your head and look up, you will know the miracle is never far away. It has always been within you, where I dwell, where everlasting peace is waiting for you to return. My child, listen deeply, for what I am about to say will awaken a strange warmth within you. Everything you thought had passed, every opportunity you believed would never return, is now coming back in a new form, purer, more timely, and more worthy. Those who once overlooked you are beginning to see the value I placed within you. They do not know why, but their hearts suddenly remember you, as though an invisible thread is drawing them near again. It is because I have touched their souls, so they recognize that you are not one forgotten, but one preserved for the right moment. Doors that once shut, opportunities that once closed, are now opening quietly yet firmly. Each door opens not by your strength pushing, but by my hand opening, and when I open, no one can shut. My child, I know there were times you grew exhausted trying to be recognized. You once bowed your head under judgments, and your heart ached when others did not see you through my eyes. But now, you no longer need to struggle. Heaven has spoken on your behalf. Your name has been recorded among the faithful. You did not choose shortcuts. You did not choose bitterness in response to bitterness. You chose compassion. You chose silence instead of accusation. You chose forgiveness instead of hatred. And because of those choices, blessing is moving toward you gently, yet surely, like dawn that needs no urging. The angels have seen your steadfastness in silence. They have noted every tear, every time you prayed with a trembling heart. Every whisper you offered in the dark has reached the throne of grace, and not a single word has fallen in vain. My child, there are gifts given not because you have won, but because you endured when you had nothing left to hold on to. There are blessings that do not come by merit, but by a faithful heart. When others chose the easier path, you remained with truth, with faith, with love even when you were wounded. That is what moved heaven. I saw you standing in the rain, still lifting your hands in prayer. I saw you fall and rise again, refusing to let resentment take over your soul. Those moments that looked like weakness were, in my sight, your greatest strength, because when you had nothing, you still had faith. And that faith, my child, is the key that opens everything that is about to come. Now you are stepping into a time of restoration. What was taken from you is not lost. It was only set aside so that I may return it to you in a more perfect form. I am reconnecting what seemed broken, resetting stones that once shattered, breathing spirit into dreams you thought had died. Everything is returning, but not as it was. It returns refined by time, covered in peace. You will see those who once doubted bow in awe, not because you seek to prove anything, but because I desire to be glorified through you. A table is being prepared, not for boasting, but to declare that faithfulness is always rewarded. Close your eyes, my child, and feel the warmth in your chest spreading outward. It is not only your heartbeat, it is the life of the Holy Spirit flowing within you. It is the assurance that you are not lost. Everything within you is being healed, even the wounds you thought had long fallen asleep. I am touching the deepest places, the places you never dared to let anyone see. You no longer have to hide your tears, for today's tears will be witnesses to tomorrow's joy. When I promise to restore, I do not only return what is material, I also return the peace that was stolen, the faith that was worn down, and the courage you once lost to fear. Do you see it? Everything is moving differently now. The current of life that once seemed meaningless is taking on a new rhythm. Those who were far from you begin to come near. Opportunities you thought were gone begin to knock again. I do not want you to be surprised, for this is not a sudden wonder, but the result of time I have quietly prepared. Everything returns on schedule, not early, not late. You have learned enough to steward the blessing you are about to receive. If I had given it sooner, you would not have been deep enough. If I delayed longer, you would have grown weary. Now is your time, my child. Receive it with humility, without pride, without doubt. I have watched you pass through many seasons of testing, and I delight that you did not let darkness turn you bitter. There were days you thought I was silent, yet I was standing behind you, laying my hand upon your shoulder so you could stand more firmly. When you trembled, I did not leave. I only stepped back so you could see you were stronger than you believed. For true strength does not come from avoiding storms, but from knowing I am in the storm with you. You walked through dry days, and that is why you can now treasure the rain of grace. You endured seasons of loneliness, and that is why you now understand the worth of presence. Now you no longer need to seek the approval of the world, because you have been affirmed by me. You are not someone searching for a place to stand, for your place has already been appointed in the eternal plan. No one can take away what I have placed within you. Stop worrying about the eyes of others, for I am the one who truly sees you. You do not need to prove your value. You only need to live faithfully according to your faith. When you do, my light will naturally spread through you, and others will see. Recognition from heaven is stronger than any praise from earth. My child, do not be astonished when good things begin to find you without your striving. This is not coincidence. It is the harvest season of years in which you persisted and sowed through tears. The tears you thought had fallen to the ground in vain are now blooming into golden grain. You loved when no one returned it. You believed when no one believed with you. And now, that love is being multiplied. Everything you did from kindness is remembered by me. No act is meaningless when it is done in love. Even the smallest prayer you spoke at night is bearing fruit in this very hour. Right now, heaven is in motion. Delays are being accelerated. Doors that were locked are beginning to glow, and old prayers are being reopened in my hand. Everything you thought had ended work, relationships, dreams, I am breathing life back into it. As Ezekiel saw a valley full of dry bones, so I speak to you, dry bones. Live again, and they are stirring. You are about to see the impossible become possible, not by your strength, but because my promise has never been empty. My child, do not fear stepping into the new season. I know you hesitate because you have been hurt, but remember, the past has no power when you allow me to rule the present. Everything that happened has become the ground where the seed of faith can sprout. Now you are no longer the one who waits, but the one who is sent. I want you to live fully in blessing, not only receiving, but also sharing. For when you share, blessing multiplies. When you give, grace becomes an endless flow. I am not only restoring you so you may be at ease, but so you may become an instrument of peace, one who carries my light into places that are still dark. Look around, my child. The sky is changing color, no longer the gray of waiting, but the gold of hope. Not because circumstances have become perfect, but because your heart has changed. I led you through dark days so you could learn light is not only outside you, it is within you. Now every step you take is a step of grace. Every word you speak is an echo of compassion. This season is yours, not because you are greater than others, but because you believed when no one believed. You loved when no one loved, and you kept your heart pure amid the dust of the world. My child, lift up your head. You are not in the same place anymore. Everything you endured has become evidence of the strength of faith. Heaven has proclaimed it, and the angels rejoice. Eyes that once saw weakness now see one chosen by the Lord refined. Anointed for a new journey, your blessing is not given to take revenge on anyone, but to glorify me. Walk with a humble heart, a grateful soul, and hands ready to sow love. For, my child, this season truly is yours. My child, when that moment comes, it will come like a beam of light piercing the thickest clouds. No one will announce it. No warning will be given. Yet your soul will know because peace will overflow. And joy will not be something you manufacture, but something I pour down upon you. That surprise will not be random, for I have woven it with invisible threads throughout your journey. Everything you suffered, every word you spoke through tears, every night you lay still, yet held on to faith, has been remembered. And when that hour arrives, every silence will suddenly become a song of praise. The door that opens will not close again, because it is opened by my own hand, the one who never misses an appointment, the one who gives only what is wholly good. My child, change does not always come in a mighty wind. Sometimes it comes in the gentlest breath. A message, a word, a glance seeming ordinary, yet marked by heaven. You once waited for dazzling miracles, but now you will recognize that the truest miracles unfold in simplicity. For I do not need grandeur to prove my power. I only need to soften your heart so you can feel. Open yourself, for blessing is moving quietly, not brilliantly, yet strong enough to turn your life in a new direction. This is the wonder of grace, where even the smallest things carry within them the breath of the kingdom. Do not doubt when peace pours down and you cannot explain why. It is a sign that I have touched your soul. I am rearranging everything, people. Tasks, timing. Nothing in my plan is accidental. If you look closely, you will see delicate threads rejoining what once tore apart. Old sorrow suddenly holds meaning. Past wounds become witnesses of faith. When I heal, I do not merely patch the wound, I cause it to birth new life. Places that once frightened, you will become places where you sing thanksgiving. Because you have been changed. My child, this is no longer a season of testing, but a season of restoration. I know you once asked, when will it happen? But, my child, in the unseen realm, all things have already been ordained. Your name has been spoken in the light, and angels have been sent. When I release it, no one can hold it back. What you perceive as delay is only so your heart can be strong enough, so your spirit can be settled enough. Now, as I open my hand, blessing will come like a waterfall carrying a joy not granted by circumstances, but born of the Spirit living within you. You will rise and find yourself changed, no longer trembling with fear, but standing upright, because you know I am upholding you. Do not worry if your eyes have not yet seen evidence, for what is real is unfolding in the deep places of your soul. Miracles do not begin with dazzling brightness, but with whispers. It may be a gentle thought, a conversation that suddenly brings understanding, or a quiet moment that makes your heart tremble. This is how I speak to you, not with thunder, but with the soft wind of love. Learn to listen, for not every silence is empty. There are silences that carry within them the very song of heaven. Before this day ends, a seed will be sown. You may not recognize it yet, but it is already resting in the soil of your spirit. In time, it will break through a meeting, an opportunity, or an unexpected door. I ask nothing more of you than to keep your heart ready. When you do not strive, what I have prepared will come as gentle as breath, yet as steady as mountains. Remember, my child, miracles do not arrive when you demand them, but when you are peaceful enough to receive them. You think the old chapters of your life have closed, yet I am still writing. No chapter ends without purpose, and no chapter is beyond my power to reopen if I choose. Relationships once fractured, dreams you thought were dead, faith you believed you had lost, everything is being touched by me. I am breathing new life into what you assumed had turned to dust. Resurrection is not only for the body, but also for hope that has been asleep. Believe this, nothing is truly lost in my hands, only renewed in ways you do not yet understand. With every breath, healing is quietly taking place. I am stitching together the fragments within you with the thread of forgiveness and light. You will know it not when others change, but when you realize your heart no longer carries bitterness, when you can look back at the one who wounded you and find only stillness within. That is the moment my work in you has been completed. True healing does not come from the outside, but from what I make you understand. Every pain you carried has led you closer to me. What seemed lost was not lost. It is being transformed. Just as ashes nourish new shoots, so can wounds become the ground where peace grows. I do not waste your sorrow. Every tear is gathered by me. Every sigh is remembered in heaven. When you find yourself at rest without a reason, that is my grace at work. I do not only give you what you want, I give you what you need to become who I formed you to be. Do not think the waiting you endured was meaningless. In days that felt silent, I was forging you in perseverance, teaching you the worth of patience, and refining your faith until it became pure. That season was not a void, but the soul's forge. Every minute that passed, every time you chose trust instead of complaint, every second you held hope when it was barely there, each one has shaped the person you are today. And it is this growth that is called the miracle near. Trust the process. My child, when you do not see, I see. When you are weary, I lift you. When you think you stand alone, I go before you to prepare the way. Everything is aligning, each detail, each person, each moment. Nothing has been forgotten, nothing misplaced. When the time is right, all things will come together, and you will understand that I have not been late by even a second. Let your heart rest in that trust, for faith is the soul's most beautiful act. And then, my child, when that blessing touches you, you will no longer see yourself as small. You will realize I have been there from the beginning, in every tear, in every fall, in every quiet joy. You will understand why I allowed the winding roads, so that when you stand here, you can look back and see that every hardship carried the shape of grace. I do not only want to bless you, I want to make you a living witness of my love. So stand firm, my child. Do not bow your head in fear. Lift it, knowing I have appointed a place for you in the light. Let your soul breathe again after years of holding yourself together. Allow yourself to rejoice. For the season of hardship has passed, and dawn is approaching. This is the hour you are being lifted, not to display yourself, but to reflect me. The blessing that is coming will not flicker out, because it is not built by flesh, but by the Spirit. Receive it with deep gratitude, for it is the reward of your journey of faith, a journey in which every step, though trembling, still turn toward me. Beloved child, every movement in heaven is arranged with a precision beyond what you can imagine. Nothing happens by accident, not a single tear falls unnoticed, and no meeting occurs outside my permission. As I prepare blessing for you, I am also preparing you for that blessing. Every person, every place, every moment is being adjusted so they converge at the exact point of divine intention. You will not only touch blessing, you will become a blessing to someone else. For what I give does not stop in the receiver's hands. It flows outward like living water, refreshing the dry souls around you. When grace touches you, it does not remain still. It carries a mission to go farther, making you the answer to another soul's prayer. Someone, somewhere, kneeling in the dark. You may not realize it, but even now, I am connecting threads that seemed scattered, weaving them into the fabric of purpose. Every wound, every separation, every time you were forgotten has been reshaping your circle. I know you have cried over betrayal, trembled alone in the room of silence, but my child, those moments purified your path, removing those who were not true enough to walk with you to the end. When I allow someone to leave, it is not because they are evil, but because they no longer fit the season of blessing ahead. Their role in your journey is complete. And now I need space for the chosen to enter. The one I am about to send will not appear as a loud miracle, yet my breath will be in them. They will come in peace, speak words that quiet your spirit, and their eyes will look upon you like a mirror reflecting the Creator's kindness. They may not know they are being sent, but I am the one leading them. Just as I sent Boaz to Ruth and brought Paul to Timothy, every meeting I appoint carries a sacred purpose to restore, to heal, and to guide. I do not send random people to you. I send souls bearing a portion of light you have been missing. They do not come to take your place, but to complete the picture of blessing. And do not forget this while I prepare them for you. I am also preparing you for them. You must become someone who can receive, not merely someone who waits. If your heart still holds resentment, suspicion, or closed doors, blessing will pass like rain falling on stone. So let your heart soften, and let kindness and faith bloom. When you are healed, you become able to heal. When you are loved rightly, you learn to love truthfully. When you learn to trust, I will send one worthy of that trust. Do not fear when I create distance between you and certain people, for I know where you need quiet to hear my voice. Sometimes loneliness is the ground where I plant the seed of true communion. Just as Joseph was separated from his brothers to prepare him for a mission of deliverance, so I am separating you from noise that does not belong to you. See distance not as loss, but as space for grace to fill. I use solitude to engrave in you the truth that your worth does not come from someone staying beside you, but from me, the one who knew you before you were born. When you stand firm in my love, you will no longer fear when someone leaves, because you will know those who remain are the ones I intend to be there. What I am about to do in your life is not only for you. The blessing I give will spread like ripples from a drop in a lake. When I lift you up, it is so you can bend down to lift others. When I open doors for you, it is so you learn to open doors for those standing outside. When I forgive you, it is so you learn to forgive. The world needs the light you carry, and that light can only shine when you share what I have placed in your hands. You will see as you become a channel of blessing for others. Your own life will be filled and made whole beyond what you have known. There are times you think, I am slowing your steps. But truly, I am keeping you from arriving too early. Before the place is ready, I will not let you enter the room of blessing while you still carry unhealed wounds. For I know you would lose the joy before recognizing its true worth. Every slowdown has a reason. Every delay is protection. You are not being overlooked. You are being aligned with perfect timing. When the hour comes, doors will open of their own accord. Crossroads will become clear. And what once hurt you will become a witness of grace. I see your heart sometimes fragile, sometimes doubting, yet filled with a longing for what is good. That longing is why I have placed a calling upon your life to become a river of love. I do not want you to only receive. I want you to be a channel through which my blessing travels farther. Remember, water stays clear when it flows, and blessing stays alive when it is shared. When you share a smile, a prayer, a small act, I will water your own life. Everything I do in you has an outward purpose. For I do not create blessing for one soul alone. I create a network of grace where people are linked together to shine. You will see that when blessing comes, it will not come in isolation. It will carry a current of connection between you and others. Someone will be lifted by your faith, and you will be lifted by theirs. As a body has many parts, yet one spirit. So, I am reweaving a community of hearts that know how to love. Someone will come to encourage you, and someone will be encouraged by you. Someone will give you renewed faith, and you will return hope to another. This is how I expand the kingdom, not with thunder, but with small acts that echo with true love. So do not close your heart, and do not fear the changes that are coming. When one thing leaves, another will come. When one person closes, another will open. I am arranging for what is right to arrive at the right time, for the right people to stand in the right place, and for you to be in the right posture. Be ready with a softened heart, with hands that can receive and also give. For when I am at work, nothing is meaningless, and no meeting is accidental. Every step you take, however small, is drawing nearer to the moment when heaven and earth meet within your life. And when it happens, you will know that every season of waiting, every tear, every silence had a purpose to make you my light, not only for your own path, but for wandering souls still lost in the world's shadows. Do not try to force anything. My child, what belongs to you will find you in the appointed time. Do not weigh your heart down by clinging to what has already left, and do not suffer over what has not yet arrived. I want you to understand, when you release fearful grasping, you open the door for grace to pour in. Some blessings cannot rest in hands that are clenched. Let your hands open light as the wind and keep gratitude alive like breath. For gratitude, my child, is the language of heaven. It needs no loud voice, yet it moves the whole kingdom of light. When you give thanks while nothing seems to have changed, you have already moved mountains. When you whisper, "Thank you for what is coming," angels bow, and the sacred wheels begin to turn. Now I want you to be still. Do not rush. Do not fear. Simply place your hand over your heart and feel that I am there. You do not need to see with your eyes, because what I do does not always take visible form. Faith does not need proof. It needs readiness. When you believe not with logic, But with your soul I will cause all things to align with that belief. Your trust carries a power above every human plan. If you could see how close you truly are, you would release every worry, and every fear would dissolve like mist beneath the morning sun. This moment is holy, for in this stillness the answer you have been waiting for has already been planted. Your questions will be gently untangled, and your confusion will be healed by the light of faith. My child, you have often wondered why some plans never come to pass, why the dreams you cherished suddenly slip from your hands. But listen, my child, what truly belongs to you never loses its way. If something does not arrive, perhaps it is not yet ready, or perhaps it was never the portion of blessing I set aside for you. I do not let you lose, I only redirect you so you may meet something more complete. When you keep clinging to what was, you cannot hold what is new. At times, I allow you to wander so you may learn the way back. Every loss conceals a beginning. Every delay carries protection within it. When you trust this, you will stop demanding and begin to listen. Because you will know I never forget. Receive these words as a sign there is a reason you are hearing them. In the movement of the universe, nothing happens outside the moment I have appointed. Today you hear this not by coincidence, but because the hour has arrived. There are appointments your soul agreed to before you were born, and this is one of them. Everything has already been arranged. Every upheaval you have endured has been guiding you toward the threshold of blessing. You do not need to understand it all, only open your heart. For it is when you stop trying to control that the divine can move freely within your life. Within the next hour, you will begin to sense a sacred stirring, not in noise, but in gentleness. A stream of light will touch your soul, not seen with the eyes, but felt lighter, brighter, and more at peace. Do not search for signs with your sight. Let your heart perceive. I will reach you in the way you least expect, perhaps a fleeting thought, a memory awakened, or an emotion that makes you want to cry without knowing why. That is the Spirit speaking. I am at work. Do not doubt it. Every soul I love is given a moment of awakening, and this is your hour. My child, when blessing comes, it does not arrive with thunder or violent wind, but softly, like breath. You will recognize that what is good does not require you to chase, to strain, to exhaust yourself. What comes from me always carries peace. It does not make you restless, does not fill you with uncertainty, does not press you with fear. It comes like morning, like dew resting on a leaf, yet when it touches you, it changes an entire life. This is how I work quietly, yet profoundly, gentle, yet powerful. When that blessing comes, you will no longer need to ask, "Is this your will?" because your heart will know, and peace will be the confirmation heaven has seen you. My child, in the long nights when you questioned your worth, when you bowed in prayer through pain and tears, not a single tear you shed has been wasted. It is a voice echoing in the unseen, and I have heard it. The angels I send do not lose their way. They have watched you pass through every season of testing, and now they are clearing a path for what is extraordinary. A new chapter is beginning. Even if you have not yet noticed, I have seen your patience. I have seen your faith remain unextinguished, though storms surrounded you. And for that, blessing will now flow toward you like a river released from its dam. My child, do not dismiss what is happening around you. Every small movement carries great meaning. When the air suddenly feels lighter, when your heart is no longer so heavy, or when someone unexpectedly reaches out, It is not mere coincidence. It is a signal that I am making a way. Receive it with a quiet spirit. For what comes from me does not require you to fight for it. It will come to you as water finds the sea. And when you step into that moment, you will understand that every waiting, every tear, every whispered prayer was part of preparation. Nothing you have lived through has been in vain. My child, hold hope as you would hold a flame in the night. Even if the wind blows, simply shelter it gently. Do not let it go out. Hope is not illusion. It is strength born of faith. When you believe that I am at work, that very faith will shake your circumstances. Even if you do not yet see anything changing, everything has already begun to shift. In the sacred realm, all you have asked for is being arranged, people. Timing. Places, everything is being set into its rightful position. Keep your heart open, for an open door welcomes the breeze. But a closed door keeps only emptiness. When you say, I trust you, I hear it, and when those words rise, the universe responds. Faith has its own resonance. It causes what is tangled to begin aligning. It drives back darkness. It helps you see light where you thought there was only night. My child, faith is not only a prayer, it is an energy, a fire of the divine within you. Let it blaze. Doubt will dissolve like smoke, and you will realize that what you are waiting for is not merely coming, it has already begun. And when that moment is complete, you will know, not because someone tells you, but because your heart will recognize it. Just as a traveler knows he has come home when he catches the familiar scent of wood, your soul will recognize blessing when it arrives. Everything I have promised will come to pass, for my word never returns empty. Believe this, my child. What I am about to do is not only to change a circumstance, but to renew your very soul. When I touch you, you will not only receive what you asked for, you will receive me, the source of all that is good. Let your heart be at peace. Do not worry about the way or the timing. All things are appointed in my wisdom. You only need to walk step by step in faith. Keep your heart soft, your hands open, and your mind clear. When you live in gratitude, when you notice goodness in small things, heaven will open wider in your life. My child, your life is a letter I am writing, and every line is soaked in love. Do not fear the next page, for I am the author. In this moment, quiet your spirit and softly say, thank you for what is coming. When those words leave you, all of heaven listens, for in gratitude, you have stepped into the current of miracles. From here, everything will begin to turn quietly, yet surely, not hurried, yet steadfast. And when you look back, you will know this is the moment everything began, not by accident, but by destiny in my everlasting love. My child, rest in peace, for what I have promised, I am completing even now, even within your soul. Beloved child, at first your mind may not recognize that what is happening is a miracle. Everything comes so quietly, like the morning breeze brushing the leaves, yet your soul will know. The soul is more sensitive than reason. It feels the warmth of grace before the eyes can see. Your name has been engraved in what is about to unfold, and nothing can take it from my hand. In the unseen realm, the wheels of destiny have begun to turn, and every link in my plan is fitting together perfectly. You are not alone on this journey. I am walking with you, and the hosts of heaven are clearing the way. My child, I have seen you bow your head in the night when no one knew. I have watched your hands tremble as you tried to hold others up while your own heart was breaking. I have heard the sigh you swallowed when no one stood beside you. Not a single tear you shed has been forgotten, for it is kept in my vessel as witness to your faithfulness. When you thought you had no strength left to continue, that was when faith within you shone most brightly. Your patience fragile as breath has echoed into the heavens, like a sweet song that makes angels pause to listen. And now, my child, the sacred is beginning to lean toward you. The angels I have sent are already on their way. They are moving around you, clearing obstacles, quieting the voices that once planted doubt in your heart, and arranging meetings that, when you witness them, you will understand only God could do this. Everything that hindered you, everything that confused you, is being untied with gentle ease. The door I have chosen to open is beginning to stir, and the first light has slipped through its seam. In the hours ahead, the opening movement of this shift will touch the timeline of your life gently yet powerfully, like a bell ringing in silence. You have prayed for a moment that could make all the months of waiting mean something. And my child, that moment now has a time, a place, and even my breath upon it. This is the confirmation of the prayer you thought had been forgotten. Every plea, even whispered through tears, has been heard and recorded. Nothing is delayed forever. I only wait for the perfect time so that blessing will not become a burden to you. What was hidden is stepping into the light. What was delayed is now being accelerated, like a river meeting its source. My child, it is now. Open your heart to receive, and doubt no longer. Blessing does not come to test you again, but to soothe you and lift you after years of weariness. Let your spirit settle, for I want you to feel fully what is coming, not with fear, but with trust. You once believed you were small, yet in that smallness I see a humble light where grace can dwell. You do not need to appear strong. I only want you to be real. Real with your tenderness and weakness, for it is in weakness that my power is made complete. My child, look around. What was once closed is beginning to change. Someone you thought you would never meet again may return, not to wound you, but to complete what was unfinished in peace. An opportunity you once lost, believing it vanished like smoke, is returning in another form, more beautiful, more mature, more whole. And you will know that everything that broke was only so it could be set in its rightful place. I never allow anything to be taken without bringing something better. When I touch what is ruined, every fragment is used to build something new, steadier, brighter, carrying the fragrance of heaven. My child, do not be afraid when strange things begin to happen. I may lead you to places you never imagined, to people you have never known, and into journeys that fill you with both joy and wonder. Do not shrink back, for my hand is holding yours. Every step is arranged. Every delay has purpose. Every redirection carries the message of grace. Sometimes I will let an old door close so you can cross a new threshold without dragging the baggage of the past. Do not look back, my child, for behind you there is only shadow. The light is ahead. The days and months in which you have persevered in doing what is right even when no one acknowledged you, every bit of it has been seen by me. When you choose to keep kindness in a world grown cold, you make heaven rejoice. When you forgive the one who once wounded you, I see that you have grown. When you still pray for the one who turned away, I know you carry my likeness within you. My child, it is because of these things that the door of blessing is opening, not because you are perfect, but because you have been faithful in small things, and whoever is faithful in small things will be entrusted with greater things. My child, prepare for the season of peace's harvest. Do not be surprised if the worries in your heart suddenly soften. If your mind becomes clearer, if you feel lighter without knowing why, these are signs that I am intervening. Peace is not a reward, but evidence that I am with you. When I enter a room, darkness has nowhere to remain. When I touch a heart, confusion is replaced at once by a strange certainty, not because you know everything, but because you trust that I know everything. And my child, that is enough. There will come a day when you lift your head and look back and understand everything you once feared was, in truth, the way I trained your trust. Every delay, every detour was a shortcut I used to protect you from what you were not yet ready to face. You will realize that the years of waiting were not wasted, but a season of sowing for true blessing. For true blessing does not arrive in loud celebration, but in the moment your soul recognizes, I have been here all along. My child, keep your heart in that humility, for it is where grace takes root. Now, as your appointed time has come, step forward with the posture of one who has been chosen. Do not carry fear, for my perfect love is enough to cast out all fear. Do not doubt anymore, for what I began in you will not be left unfinished. When I say, go, it means everything you need is already prepared. The angels are in their places. Opportunities have been set. Your heart has been made ready. Now is the moment for you to step out and let me do the rest. You do not need to understand it all, only believe. For in belief, miracles are born. And when you see it happen, when the prayer you once prayed is answered in a way you never expected, remember that it is not luck, but my faithfulness. I never forget what you whispered to me in the long nights. I do not abandon the urgent cry that rises from a sincere heart. All things have been appointed, and now that destiny is slowly taking shape. My child, this is the time for you to understand that I am not only the one who hears petitions, but the one who turns petitions into reality in his perfect timing. So open your heart and receive. Walk with a light trust, because what you have waited for has begun to move. Speak gratitude even before you see the result, for that is how you prove faith. When you give thanks while your hands still hold nothing, you have stepped into the realm of miracles. For miracles do not need evidence, only faith. And your faith, my child, has shaken heaven. The heavens are leaning toward you like flowers leaning toward the light. You need do nothing more than open your heart and receive. For what I give you is real, enduring, beautiful, and will arrive at the exact moment you are most ready. My child, let your heart grow still for a moment so you can hear this clearly. My hand is moving for you. Not a single tear of yours falls without my seeing it. Not a single sigh without my hearing it. I know who has hurt you. I know the lies that cracked your heart. I know even the nights you lay awake in the dark, afraid to speak what you carried inside. But do not think those wounds have been forgotten. I am rewriting your story, not on the old page, but in a new chapter where light will replace every shadow you have walked through. And those who once looked down on you, who once turned their backs on you, will witness me lifting you up, renewing your life with a glory no one can deny, not so you may gloat, but so you may know that I am righteous, and I still hold the whole story of your life in my hands. I have seen betrayal make you doubt your own heart, and I know how it feels like a cold blade passing through the chest, making you want to close yourself off so you will not be hurt again. But I do not want you to close your heart, for an open heart is where I step in. If you let wounds harden you, my light will have no place to dwell. Let me heal you not by erasing memory, but by changing its meaning, until pain is no longer proof of loss, but proof that you were preserved, protected, and chosen to go on. I send my angels to surround you. Michael, my archangel, stands with a sword of light raised high, clearing away the shadowed energies that hover around your future. Do not fear the dark, for it is fading. Do not tremble at change, for that very change is opening the way for the blessing you have asked for. I know there are moments when change arrives like a storm and you cannot find your footing. But my child, miracles often wear the disguise of interruption. What looks like loss is sometimes the path I use to lift you higher. Do not look at upheaval with fearful eyes. Look with the eyes of faith. Because within every disorder, my hand is restoring order. You once asked, "Why is everything being overturned when I only want peace?" My child, true peace is not the absence of storms, but the strength to stand steady within them. I do not remove every trial from your life. I teach you how to walk through them without being swept away. What you are losing is not your foundation, but the old layer that has finished its purpose. When an old building collapses, you see dust rising everywhere. But I see the groundwork being remade so a stronger structure can be built. What I take away is what no longer serves the purpose I am preparing for you. Let me work, for my plan has never failed. My child, do not be afraid when you no longer recognize yourself. When I reshape you, you will no longer fit the old garment. Relationships, environments, even work that once felt safe may begin to feel unfamiliar, not because they have become worse, but because you have been lifted to another level, just as a bird cannot live forever in a nest that has grown too tight. Your soul must leave what is old in order to fly higher. Do not mourn what I have loosened from your hands. It has not disappeared. It has simply completed its role in your maturing journey. Trust that I never take anything from you without intending to give you something better, fuller, and more fitting for you. At times you may feel lonely on this path. I know because I, too, was alone in the wilderness for 40 days and nights. Yet it is in loneliness that you can hear the truest voice of your own heart and the gentle call of the Spirit. I do not leave you abandoned. I set you apart so you can discern my voice amid all the noise. The silence you are in is not rejection, but invitation. Sit down, breathe, and let your heart settle. When you stop fighting, you will begin to sense the peace I am giving you, a peace that does not come because everything becomes easy, but because you know I am in control of everything. My child, what I am doing is not only rescuing you from the past, but rewriting your future with my love. I am redrawing the path of your life, and that picture no longer carries the color of regret, but the hue of hope. Those who once belittled you will see you standing on new feet, not by your own strength, but by my grace. Those who once mocked you will fall silent as they witness the way I bless you openly. But do not seek joy in revenge, for I do not bless you so you can prove anything. I bless you so you can shine, so you can become living evidence that grace is real. When you live in the light, darkness will withdraw on its own. Sometimes, to change the trajectory of your life, I must allow collision, an unexpected event. Someone leaving, something you were sure of suddenly dissolving. Yet, my child, all of it has purpose. I do not destroy, I restructure. Like a goldsmith who melts gold in fire to remove impurities, I use trials to refine you. I do not want you fragile within blessing. I want you strong in love. because blessing without maturity becomes a burden. So, whenever you see things falling apart, remember that I am rebuilding with better material, the material of faith, gratitude, and wisdom. My child, do not run from my movement. I never renew your life without reason. When I stir the wind, it is because you have stayed too long in the safe zone. When I raise the waves, it is because there is land on the other shore where you must set your feet. Every storm carries a hidden door, and when you have the courage to pass through, you will see the world is no longer as narrow as before. I am teaching you to trust not only with your lips, but with your steps. Walk even when you cannot see the road. Believe even when you cannot yet see the outcome. And when you dare to move, I will do the rest. Now, my child, when you feel a strange peace in the middle of chaos, it is not imagination. It is a sign that my spirit is covering you. That feeling does not come from you, but from me. Do not doubt it. Let it soak into every corner of your soul. When my peace reigns, fear will have no place. You will look at change with different eyes, no longer anxious, but filled with expectation. Every shaking is a signal I am nearer than ever. Remember, my beloved child, your destiny has never been late. Everything is unfolding at the exact time I appointed before you were formed in your mother's womb. I planned each breath, each step, each person you would meet, no matter how far you wander. You cannot wander outside my will, for my hand remains upon you. My eyes remain on you, and my heart still beats in rhythm with yours. I am not only rewriting your story, I am bringing you into its most beautiful chapter, where what once looked like loss will become material for victory. My child, keep believing and open your hands wide, for the old season is closing, and the new season, I promise, the season of restoration, glory, and peace is beginning in this very moment. My child, when subtle signs begin to appear around you, repeating numbers, vivid dreams, or emotion rising suddenly without reason, know that it is not accidental. Your soul is intersecting with the divine rhythm I have already set, and what seems vague is a call, a signal that everything is slowly aligning with my will. Your soul has known what your mind is only beginning to recognize. I am rearranging unseen currents so that what you have asked for in silence will bloom in its appointed hour. My child, do not panic when coincidences seem to happen. With intention, those are my fingerprints in your life. You often compare your steps with others and think you are moving too slowly, that I seem to favor someone else more than you. But my child, you do not yet see that each soul's journey is a different song. No rhythm is the same. No measure is mistaken. I am weaving your story in a unique tempo, measured by the breath of your own soul. Do not use the clocks of this world to measure the time of heaven. When I write your story, I use light and shadow, headwinds and gentle seasons, to complete what must be completed. Every bend, every pause, has a reason that you will only understand when you look back and realize it all was held within my wisdom. My child, when I say it is time, every element will begin to move into place, even if you do nothing. The people you need to meet, you will meet as if by chance. The doors that must open will quietly begin to swing. You do not need to force. You do not need to knock too hard. Only keep your heart in trust. As a river does not hurry yet still reaches the sea, let my grace carry you to where you must be. Angels are whispering your name in places you have never set foot, touching hearts that will become blessings to you. You are not alone. Every unseen movement around you is cooperating with the plan I began before you existed. Some people will enter your life not by coincidence, but because I send them. A careless word, a small act, or a meeting that seems brief can become the key that opens what you have waited for so long. I still use ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. When you stay awake in spirit, you will recognize that each face you meet carries a message, a piece of the picture I am painting. Do not be afraid to open your heart. For an open heart is the doorway I pass through to deliver blessing, just as when the angel came to Mary in what seemed an ordinary moment. In that single instant, the history of humankind changed forever. My child, I know you have endured long months when no one saw your quiet efforts. You sowed in silence, persevered in the unseen, believed when no one else believed. But no act of yours has drifted into emptiness. I have seen it all, heard every sigh, counted every tear that fell in the nights you knelt to pray. Now the season of harvest is drawing near, and the door I am opening is not merely to reward you, but to prove that faithfulness always bears fruit. Hold your posture steady, for the light is rising. In the moments ahead, you will see everything begin to move more quickly. What once seemed stagnant will suddenly flow freely. Relationships you thought were lost will be restored, and doors you believed were shut forever will gently open. But, my child, walk forward in peace. Do not rush to cling. Do not fear to lose. A true blessing does not require you to hold it with a tight fist, for it is bound to the destiny I have already ordained. Remember this, I do not give only to take back again. I give only when you are ready to keep it with a loving heart. And if you are still afraid, I will wait patiently, like a father waiting for his little child to grow strong enough to lift the gift they are worthy to receive. My child, when the door opens, do not forget to look back on the path you have traveled with a grateful heart. It was those very days of hardship that trained your soul and refined you like gold in the fire. Not a single tear was meaningless, for in each tear I sowed the seed of growth. Now, as you step into a new season, I want you to carry gratitude like armor, for a blessing not clothed in thanksgiving will quickly fade. Know that every time you say, "Thank you, Lord," a portion of heaven opens within your soul, and the light shines ever more brightly. When I touch your life, it is not first to change your circumstances, but to transform your inner being. A heart that has learned humility and gratitude will always recognize my footprints in every change. My child, when you keep your heart upright and your spirit gentle, I will cause the smallest things to become extraordinary. You do not need to go searching for miracles for you. In peace and in love are already a living miracle. Your life will become a testimony that when you believe and keep your heart good, heaven and earth will bend to work together with you. And when you begin to see wonders unfold, do not forget to share the blessing. You are blessed not to keep it for yourself, but to spread that light to those who wander in darkness. Become my hand among humankind. Become my word of comfort to wounded hearts. When you do this, you are not only one who is blessed, but also a channel through which grace flows. A true blessing never stops at the receiver. It keeps flowing, keeps renewing, keeps multiplying through small acts that spring from a heart of love. My child, now that everything is being prepared to fall into place, I do not want you to be confused or shaken by change. Believe that every shaking is allowed in order to draw you closer to what I have ordained. At times, you must leave what is familiar so you can stand in the right place. Sometimes a door closing is not a loss. but a sign that a greater door is about to open. Let your heart be soft before change. For in a soul that knows how to yield, I can accomplish the most wondrous things. Everything is being set in its proper place. My child, what you thought was random has in fact been a chain of links woven carefully into my sacred design. Your soul has passed through many seasons, and now a new wind is rising. Walk by faith, not looking at what you have lost, but toward what is coming. When you believe that I am at work, even when you see nothing, you will feel a deep peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that comes only from me. And when that peace floods your heart, that is the sign that the door of blessing has truly opened. My child, I want you to remember this: everything I do is born of love. There is no arrangement that is random, no trial that does not carry within it a good purpose. When I write your story, I overlook no detail and forget no prayer. You are walking in the right direction even when you cannot yet see the destination. And then, when your season comes, you will understand why I made you wait, why I allowed you to weep, why I kept silent. It was all so that you could see me more clearly, love me more deeply, and live more fully in my light. Be still and listen. My child, the footsteps of grace are drawing near. You do not need to hurry, for a blessing never arrives late. Keep your heart in a posture of faith, of love, and of thanksgiving. When you do this, you will see everything around you begin to shift. People, events, and circumstances will all start working together to bring you to the place of peace promised from the beginning. I am here, in your very breath, in every heartbeat, in each quiet moment of your life. And I say to you, be ready, for what I have promised is coming not with noise and clamor, but with the gentle light of my love, the love that has, is, and will forever cover your life. My child, I know there is a feeling rising in your heart that you cannot quite name, as if something is quietly moving beneath the deep layers of your life. You cannot see it clearly, but you can sense it. Something is drawing near. A change, gentle yet powerful, like the first wind of a new season, slipping through the leaves to announce a fresh dawn. My child, know that this stirring within you is no accident. I am working behind the veil, orchestrating things you cannot see, preparing the way for the blessing already appointed for you. A person is being sent. A word is being released. A door is about to open. And when the time comes, everything will fit together like pieces of a puzzle I have carefully arranged since the beginning. Do not despise the smallness of the signs. At times I do not come with peals of thunder, but with a gentle message, not with dazzling miracles, but through an unexpected act of kindness. Learn to listen with your heart, not only with your ears, for my voice does not merely sound outside, it resounds within your soul. I still remember the days of old, when I sent Samuel to the house of Jesse to anoint a new king. Everyone looked at the sons who were strong and impressive, but I chose David, the little shepherd boy whom no one had considered. In the same way, my grace still comes through simple things. The one who brings blessing to you may not wear a royal robe or speak grand words, yet they will carry my breath and a fragment of my purpose that will open a new path for you. My child, you may feel something urging you from within, a sudden thought that you should call someone, write a letter, speak a word of thanks, or even let go of something you have held too tightly for too long. Do not ignore those whispers, for the Holy Spirit is at work through the stirrings of your heart. When I touch your heart, I do not need a loud voice. I only need you to be still enough to hear and brave enough to obey. With every step you take in response to that leading, I will go before you, preparing the ground and causing all things to align with my will. You will be amazed to see how things that once seemed meaningless become the very keys that open a new season of your life. I know there are moments when you doubt and ask, "Is this truly the Lord's voice? Or only my own thoughts, my child?" You will know it is me when what you sense brings peace instead of fear, when it calls you toward what is good rather than pushing you into darkness. My Spirit does not create pressure, He awakens love. If your heart grows warm and deep within, you know it is right. Then step forward. I will turn that step into a turning point. Do not wait for everything to be clear before you believe, for faith is not about seeing, but about daring to walk through the mist, trusting that I am waiting at the end of the path. Remember, my child, every one of your prayers has been recorded. Not a single word that rises to me is forgotten. There are things you asked for long ago that you think I have overlooked. But no, I have been weaving time to fit my purpose. When the answer comes, it will carry the weight of all the years you have waited. I do not give half measures. I give what is complete. Let your heart stay open to recognize what I am doing. For a blessing does not always appear in the form you imagined. It may come through a job offer, a meeting with someone, a small change in your schedule. Yet in each of these details, my hand is moving to rearrange all things for your good. And then you will see, my child, that when the time is ripe, everything will begin to accelerate. I will compress time so that what once took many years will now unfold in just a few days. Just as I brought Joseph from the prison to the throne of Egypt in a single moment, so your breakthrough will come sudden, yet never random. You will look back and realize that all the years of waiting, every slow step, every day that seemed meaningless, were all leading you to that very moment. Nothing is wasted in my plan. When you see everything beginning to change, do not be alarmed. It is simply a sign that grace is on the move and that I am bringing to completion what I have promised. You will feel the weight in your heart grow lighter, as though someone were gently lifting it from your shoulders. And indeed, it is I who am doing this. When you loosen your grip on what was never meant to be yours, I can place in your hands what is better. My child, you cannot receive a new blessing while your hands are still full of the past. Trust me enough to let go, release those who have hurt you, the dreams whose time has been fulfilled, and the fears that cling to your soul. For when you dare to release, you create space for me to act. Let the old things drift away. For a new season requires a soul as light as a breath. It may be that in this very moment you feel urged to act, to say yes to an opportunity, to begin something you once hesitated to start, or to step through a door you were afraid to cross. My child, this is the Holy Spirit leading you. I do not push you out of your comfort zone so that you may fall, but so that you may soar. Just as Peter stepped out of the boat when he saw the Son of Man walking on the water, if you dare to believe, you too will see what once seemed impossible become reality. Do not fix your eyes on the wind and waves, fix them on me. When your gaze is set on me, you will not sink. My child, do not be afraid when the new comes too quickly. I know the pace of change can make you feel dizzy, but you do not need to control it. You only need to hold firmly to your faith. When the wind of grace blows, everything unfolds at the speed of my purpose, not according to human timing. You may feel as though I am pulling you into a powerful current. This is because I am carrying you to the place where you belong. Do not resist. Let my Spirit sweep you along. For only when you surrender yourself to my waters will you find true freedom. And as you step into this new thing, step with a heart full of thanksgiving. Know that everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen is because I love you. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. It is no accident that the old is falling away and the new is appearing. It is because I am changing the scenery to lead you into a brighter light. I have already appointed the time, the path, and the companions for your journey. All things are moving toward the rendezvous of grace. My child, do not be afraid. When you keep your heart steady, when you believe that I still hold your hand amid every movement, you will see that the miracle is not only at the end of the road, but in every step you take. And then, on a morning that seems utterly ordinary, you will realize that what you have long prayed for has become reality. There will be no trumpet blast, no blinding light, only a deep, quiet peace spreading through your heart, letting you know this is what I promised. My child, remember that moment, for it is a testimony to my steadfast love. Every trial, every silence, every season of waiting has been leading to this point, when you finally understand that I have never left you, not even for a single breath. And as you walk in that light, you will carry the fragrance of faith, so that you yourself become one who is sent, one who will bring that same grace to others who are waiting to be touched by my love. My child, as new light slowly unfolds along the path before you, let your soul become quiet enough to feel the heartbeat of grace. It may be that in this very moment you cannot explain why your heart trembles, why tears softly fall when I speak to you about restoration. This is no accident. It is a sign that my spirit is touching the deepest part of your soul. All that seemed withered, every crack you thought could never be mended, is now being gathered, warmed, and transformed by an unfading love. My child, when you feel that warmth rising within, it is the sign that I am drawing near, awakening what has long slept inside you. Do not resist these feelings. Let them lead you back to the place of peace I have prepared. For there are miracles that do not come with loud trumpets, but with the gentle breath of holy presence. You once thought time had passed in vain, that opportunities had closed, that blessings had been delayed forever. But my child, I do not only rule over the present, I redeem time itself. Every moment you believed was lost, I have still held in my hand, waiting for the day to return it to you in a fuller way. When I declare, all things are made new, it means even a shattered past can become the foundation for a glorious future. You will see that the years you thought were wasted are being repaid many times over. Just as the promise given to Job when he remained faithful in suffering, I do not allow a single tear of yours to fall without purpose. For each one waters the seeds of the blessing about to bloom. When you understand this, you will no longer look at time with regret, but with faith that every second can be transformed by me. My child, there are seasons when I allow storms to rise, not to destroy, but to clear the way. For only after the rain has passed does the soil soften enough for the seed to break through. You think everything is collapsing, but in truth I am gathering those painful years into a turning point of blessing. The wounds you carried once made you close your heart, yet now they become the evidence of the healing I will reveal. You are about to see what your eyes have never seen, hear what your ears have never heard, and feel what your heart has never dared to believe. For I am the one who turns ashes into a crown, who turns mourning into a feast. Do not fear when everything changes too quickly. It is not chaos, but the process of my rearranging so that the new can be born. You once wept at a door that had closed, thinking your dream had ended. But my child, I closed that door not to reject you, but to protect you. There are places you begged to enter if I allowed it. You would be harmed. There are people you long to keep if I let them stay. You would not be able to grow. Every closure carries my reason, just as I kept Israel from returning to Egypt, not because they were unworthy, but because that road would swallow the free soul I had just given them. My child, when I close, I am also opening. Only you cannot see it yet. And when the time comes, you will understand why I chose silence while you cried out. I know you have loved, you have trusted, and you have been wounded. The one you relied on turned away. The one you believed in fell silent. But my child, I did not allow it so you would lose faith in people, but so you would learn to place your full trust in me. Those who left were not outside my plan. They only played a role for a season. When they had fulfilled their part, I let them step aside so you could continue your journey. Yet, do not be surprised if one day they return, when I have touched their heart and opened their eyes to the value of what they once took lightly. Their return is not meant to reopen the past, but to complete my purpose: healing, forgiveness, and blessing. When you see it happen, open your heart, not with resentment, but with mercy. For when you forgive, you are writing the story with me in the language of grace. My child, some reunions are not accidental. When I bring two souls together again, it is not only to reconnect affection, but to fulfill a part of my redeeming plan. You may see a loved one knock at your door, an old friend reach out, or someone who once walked away now seeking to make things right. Do not rush to refuse, and do not cling too quickly either. Listen to the Holy Spirit within you. He will show you what to open and what to leave at rest. I may use them to restore what was lost, or I may use that moment simply to complete the lesson of love and kindness. Either way, trust that every meeting has its appointed time, and my timing always brings peace. My child, open your heart to the restoration I am bringing. It may not be that everything broken will be put back exactly as it was, but it will be transformed into something better. Just as an olive tree bears fruit only when it is pruned, you too will blossom after being wounded. Every loss is no longer an injury, but a doorway for light to enter. When I touch the cracks in your heart, it is not to stir up pain again, but to breathe new life into them. Do not struggle to understand with reason, for what I do is beyond your understanding. Simply remain in me, and all things will be restored in a way that will make you say, Lord, you are truly kind. My child, as you prepare to step into a new season, carry with you a faith that has been refined. Do not look back with fear. Look forward with holy wonder. What I am preparing cannot be compared to anything you have had before. The blessing that is coming is not only to comfort you, but to realign your entire life. You will no longer live by the memory of pain, but by the memory of grace. I will make you a living testimony of goodness, one who once fell yet now stands firm, one who once lost much yet now shines. When the world looks at you, they will not only see you, they will see me, the one who has done the impossible. Now, as the night is about to close, my child, take a deep breath. Nothing you have endured has been meaningless. It has all been notes in the symphony I am composing. Do not fear your tears, for those tears are washing you clean to receive a new dawn. When you lift your head, you will see the sky is no longer dark. The sun has been there all along. You have simply learned to see with eyes cleansed by faith. And in this sacred moment, I say to you, the old has passed away. I am making all things new. My child, rest in that faith. A surprise is drawing near, and it will not come the way you expected. But when it happens, you will know not because you forced it, but because I ordained it. Every wound will become a witness of restoring love. Every wrong turn will become a road that leads you back to me. Everyone who once walked away will bring an apology, an embrace, or a blessing. Let your heart soften so the Spirit can touch it easily. For when your heart opens, heaven opens with it, and then you will understand that nothing is ever lost in my hands, only renewed to become more beautiful than ever before. My child, do not fear the season ahead. Trust that I am walking before you, preparing the way for blessing to pour down. Even if you tremble, whether from emotion or because the light is so near, that is a sign of my presence. Restoration is no longer only a promise, it is a reality unfolding day by day. Every silence, every closure, every separation has been only a transition in the song of redemption. And now I speak to you with everlasting love, my child. Arise, step into my peace, for the new season has truly come. My child, new people are coming closer than you think. It is no accident that they appear. They are the pieces I have kept for the next chapter of your life. I am sending you souls who can see true value, not through appearances, not through what you have, but through the light I have placed within you. They will love without conditions, support without judging, and recognize you before you even introduce yourself. They do not come to take your place, but to help you bloom into the truth of who you are. They are the reward for the years you believed, were hurt, yet still remained gentle. They will come quietly, without announcement, and when you see them, you will know they are the ones I sent. For in them, your soul will recognize a familiar peace, as if I am looking at you through their eyes. The new season you are stepping into is a season of truth and favor. There is no room for what is fake, for those who come and go for their own gain. Whatever does not belong to the light will fall away from you on its own. You will not need to hold on. I am renewing your circle, cleansing old connections, so that only kindred souls are permitted to walk with you forward. Do not grieve the departures. Their leaving is confirmation that that chapter is complete. You are not being abandoned. You are being released. I am opening space in your life so that the new can enter. Just as wind moves only when a window is opened, blessing can flow only when you loosen your grip on what has grown old. My child, some people were sent for a phase, not for the whole journey. They were a lesson, not a destination. You have learned what you needed to learn about trust, patience, and loving without losing yourself. Now I must turn that page so you can read the next chapter. You cannot welcome spring if you keep clutching the dry leaves of the old season. I know letting go aches, but trust that no separation within my will is ever wasted. Those who truly belong to you will never leave, and those who leave simply were not entrusted with your future. This next hour in your life is a holy hour, the hour of spiritual shifting. It is not happening outside of you. It begins within your soul. You will feel something change, lighter, deeper, truer. What is fake? Relationships built only on convenience. Words not born of love, all of it will gradually fade. You will find yourself no longer craving noisy places, no longer comfortable with pretense. That is a sign of spiritual maturity. I am lifting your frequency so you can step into a higher realm where only truth, compassion, and grace are exchanged. And my child, If you are hearing these words, it is not by chance. Heaven never speaks a word in vain. It means you have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you have believed. Even when belief cost you pain, I have seen your silent prayers, your tears when no one noticed, your forgiveness when you had every reason to hate. Those moments are why your name is engraved upon the palms of my hands. When you thought no one saw, I saw. When you thought no one heard, I listened. And when you felt small in this world, I whispered to the angels, this one belongs to me. Even now, you're home. The phone in your hand, the breath you draw in, everything is being marked for my attention. Nothing is too small in my plan. Every place your hands touch, every word you speak, is being covered with heaven's light. You do not realize that as you read these words, my angels are standing around you, laying a hand upon your shoulder, whispering, blessing. They bring your name before me. They recount your perseverance. They say, this one believed, even at a cost. And I reply, because of that faith, I will give them what exceeds everything they have ever asked for. My child, do not be surprised when old faces grow distant, when doors that once stood open now close. That is how I make room for something better. You may feel lonely, but do not fear that loneliness. It is the space I create for light to enter. You are not losing, you are being cleared. And when your heart is made pure, you will recognize the people I send, those who do not try to fix you, but see me in you, those who do not exploit you, but pray with you, those who do not make you afraid, but make you feel peace. In this new season, you will not need to prove your worth. Those I send will recognize it with a single glance. They will not exhaust you with demands for explanation, nor wound you through being misunderstood. They will bring laughter, a comfortable silence, and a confidence that love can be real, can endure, can be sacred. My child, I am changing the environment around you at work, in relationships, and in the way you see yourself so you can live in the light I placed within you from the beginning. Be ready, my child, for this blessing will not look like the ones you have known. It does not come to make you stand out, but to make you at peace. It does not stir envy in others, but gratitude within you. It will not arrive with noise, but in stillness, in the gentle breath of the wind, in the feeling that everything is coming together in a holy way. I am arranging new souls around you, people who can walk farther with you, deeper with you, closer to me. Each of them will carry a piece of healing, so that when you look around, you will see that I am surrounding you through them. And my child, when these new souls step into your life, do not close your heart out of fear of being hurt again. I know your heart has grown weary after so much loss. But the love I am sending this time does not come to test you. It comes to heal you. Trust that you are worthy of people who cherish the gentleness and faithfulness within you. They will not make you question your value, nor force you to become someone else. They come to cultivate what is true with you. So the days ahead are no longer shaded by the fear of being replaced, but lit by the assurance that true love still exists. When you open your heart, you do not only welcome others, you open the door for me to step deeper into your life. I am weaving an invisible embrace around you through the people I send, through the things I arrange to remind you you are not alone. Keep your soul light as breath, for what is coming will not carry confusion, only the quiet steadiness of grace. And when you smile, I smile too. because I know you have finally understood what I took away was only to make room for what I truly desire to give. And when that day comes, when you look back on your journey, you will understand that no one truly left, only roles changed. Every meeting, every farewell, every turn belonged to a greater song I have been conducting. The false notes have fallen silent, and now the true melody rises. You will find yourself walking lighter, speaking gentler, loving deeper, because I am living in you. My child, open wide to receive, for what I am preparing is not only a miracle, but a new life, where you no longer have to search for peace, because you yourself have become that peace. Thank you for listening to today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue receiving the living word together, building unshakable faith and walking in the immeasurable love of God. Amen.